And what's good, collective? Back with another video this evening. And we just chilling. And we are getting ready to get into this message. I greet you in peace. I come in peace. Collective, I have a strong message here for you. They wanted to control how people view you. You are too outgoing for backsliders. They wanted to attach themselves to your light. They wanted to, okay, yeah, here we go. Yeah, so they wanted to attach themselves to your light. Attaching themselves to your light is often used to mean benefiting from your attention, creativity, or positivity, wanting access to your influence or presence or feelings or feeling threatened by qualities they don't feel that they have themselves from within. But you stay focusing on boundaries, on your own boundaries. At the same time, it can help to stay grounded and separate what people actually did or say from assumptions about their motives. Because body language may not, if somebody's hiding their face, you definitely, or ears, you definitely, or energy, you definitely on point. So they wanted to control how people view you, you know. In the meantime, in the between time, while they disturbing your energy field, while your aura, you're trying to protect your aura all by means necessary, and they are consistent and compelled to mess with your energy. They wanted to control how people view you, so they'll go right and try to expand their illusions when it comes to trying to project on you. They want to take your good energy, try to be you, and then talk about themselves in a negative way indirectly. Come on, somebody. Ooh, we in there like so when God bless everybody. But there's always a lesson learned. They were actually benefiting from your attention, creativity, or positivity, wanting access to your influence, trying to beat you, trying to override you, watching you in the cut, trying to control. Since they know they don't have that in them, so they're going to try to control how people view you by trying to be you and talk negative about themselves, try to cloak themselves in your light and wear it like if it was their own. Dang, every time I get on here, I be good all day. My throat. Okay. So they be wanting access to you by trying to watch you. Unbeknown to you, you just mind your business. They come to your shit every day. Is given. Every day they come to your shit to see what they could take. What they could take. But you busy focusing on your own boundaries. Right? At the same time, it can help to stay grounded. It helps you to focus on your own boundaries because it helps you to stay grounded, right? Grounded and separate. So whenever they trying to do whatever, they projecting their own self, cloaking themselves and projecting themselves at the same time, cloaking themselves, talking about themselves. Like, I don't want you to know who I really am, but I'm gonna cloak in this energy right here real quick. They expose themselves more and more. But it's cool. Let's get into this. Wow, this card 104. Dang. Something from the fourth house. Your root. Your root. They did something about Mercury. Your mind. Your fourth house, your roots, Mercury, your mind. Ninth house with your faith. Taurus, I have. Twelfth house, escape. Something with the fire element. The fire element. Capricorn, I use. Wow. Yo, like the video, share the video. We are talking about how they wanted to control how people view you, right? The Grand Cross Provoker. Wow. That Pisces and that damn Taurus always coming out. So something about your roots, your mind, your ninth house with your faith, a Taurus could be involved. You could be in that I have Taurus energy. Something from your 12th house, escape. The fire element, desire. Capricorn, I use. And the Grand Cross Provoker. Fourth house roots, Mercury, mind. Ninth house, faith. Taurus, I have. 12th house, escape. The element, desire. Capricorn, I use. Grand Cross Provoker. So there's a Taurus provoking a Capricorn at the Grand Cross. Desire to, use a Taurus has a desire to use a Capricorn. And this Taurus could be trying to control how people view this Capricorn. But they had a Grand Cross role, trying to be the provoker. Baby. Can't make this stuff up. Attachment. Attachment. I almost didn't want to put it down. Angel of balance. Something from the seventh chakra, Archangel Ariel. Archangel Ariel. The garden and the gate. The fifth chakra, Archangel Gabriel is protecting. The musician and the mirror. Mm, 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 mm. How dangerous. Something about a contract. The thinking man. Yes, it makes sense. It just makes sense. It makes sense. Okay. First card said money, new job. Wow, YouTube. Somebody possibly could have got a new contract to make some money to do something here. Okay. Could be working with your family, trying to get into a family member's love yourself enough to realize something about YouTube. You being copied on purpose. You being copied on purpose. Child, they make that. Somebody could be missing somebody over here. Something about a cope, spell work, and backfire. And gang stalking. You are protected by your guides. And they learning that the hard way. You are protected by your guides. And Archangel Ariel, you in that Christ consciousness. You in that Christ consciousness.
This message is brought to you by.
Okay, let's get it. Let's get it right. Let's get it crump. Let's just go. It's given, you know. And I want to do something here. Let me get my.
$550 annual rebates up to $1,600 to make upgrading even easier. Tap the banner to learn more.
Now at McDonald's.
Yo, it is not a game. Because this reading is so deep, okay? And it's given. It's given what it's given. It's given what it's given. So, okay. Let's see. All right, cool. So, we have here fourth house from your something from your fourth house roots, Mercury mind. In your Mercury mind, your ninth house, your faith. There's a Taurus trying to have your faith, trying to have your Mercury mind, trying to block your roots some kind of type of way. And they done messed around and found out they in escape mode with the fire element, desire. Okay. Desire a Capricorn, to use a Capricorn. They actually use a Capricorn. And at this Grand Cross Provoker, this Taurus has a hardcore attachment to this Capricorn. But there's angels surrounding this Capricorn. Wow. So many angels. Protecting the seventh chakra. Protecting the fifth chakra. The throat chakra. Okay. Because they use spell work. They use game stalking. Everything that is supposed to be here is here. So something from your seventh house, your seventh chakra, with the angel balances, like they surrounded, they camped around you with a hedge of protection of fire, God fire, that fire element, heavy with the fire. So from your seventh chakra, your crown chakra, Archangel Uriel is protecting your seventh chakra, your crown chakra. Okay. The garden and the gate. This Taurus can be at the garden and the gate trying to get in the spiritual realm. You at the garden and the gate. They're trying to get in your garden, right? Your fifth chakra, which is your throat chakra, okay, is being protected by Archangel Gabriel. You're a hardcore musician out here. Musician and the mirror. The person that is trying to use this Capricorn, which is a Taurus, I use. They do a lot of mirror stuff, musician and the mirror, they probably just came into a contract. They're starting to get little contracts, and it's going to lead to a major contract. And you have the thinking man in the cut. Gaslighting, gaslighting. It's giving gaslighting. And you are being copied on purpose. They're cults. They do spell work, and it backfired. Gang stalking. You are being protected by your guides, your spirit guides. Okay? So that's the beginning of the story of this fog alone with this one Taurus. Okay? With this one Taurus hovering over this Capricorn. Talk about they have something about this Capricorn. Well, they have a Capricorn, but Capricorn, they use, they try to control how people view you. That could be anybody. That could be anywhere. If it resonates, let it meditate. If it don't apply, let it fly. You are being protected by your spirit guides and your Christ consciousness. And they can't seem to get that. They've been trying. They doing code work, spell work, but it's backfiring. Four of Wands in reverse. Personal celebration, inner harmony, conflict with others, lack of support, breakdown in communication, home conflict. Okay? In reverse. Everything is in reverse, coming out in reverse. Two of Swords.
And now we'll put the compass space between your
Personal goals, self-doubt, inner alignment,
your head
fear of unknown, fear of change, playing it safe. That's what this Taurus could be doing. Playing it safe.
In about 900 dollars, it's done.
Ace of Swords is in reverse. They lie a lot. They lie a lot.
The teenagers have arrived at McDonald's. From fruity refreshers with popping boba and freeze-dried fruit to crackle sodas like the Sprite Berry Blast.
Yeah. Something is moving, transition, moving on change, leaving behind, releasing baggage, moving to a calmer waters, relationship ending for these individuals.
The business owner takes hard work and a whole lot of miles. So once upon a time, he was a serious business partner.
That's confirmed.
One venture as business. With unlimited double miles and camping, Richard Leon will pay them all the things.
What would they donate to the group? What were they doing to the group? New attraction. They wanted, they didn't want you to have no attraction. Okay? They was doing that. What about this Mercury mind? Justice. For playing with the Mercury mind, there's justice here. With this witch, this code, the spell work. With your faith, definitely in your new investments. This Taurus is in a 10 of Swords. They talk about, I have, a bunch of swords in you. Child, how do you escape your own stupidity? What is given? What about this escape? Shit. They escaped in this last moon. Child. Yeah, they still in their illusions. They escaped. They left with their illusions. They escaped from their own illusions. What? Yeah, we can't make this stuff up. Capricorn. They wanted a Capricorn stuck. Okay. No, they had the desire to have a Capricorn stuck. Okay. What about this Capricorn? What about this Capricorn? Damn, all these want to come out. Let me try this again. Wow. Judgment for synchronicity. For playing with your synchronicity. That was the last card. These were the last 3 cards. Spirit said, look, that's the truth. These are the cards that fell out. That's the truth. They wanted to do moon magic on this Capricorn synchronicity. And there's judgment there for this Capricorn. Okay? Your synchronicity at this grand cross, on this grand cross. Right? You are being copied. They had a death and a rebirth for even playing like that. After a while, that shit ate them alive. This coat is having trouble, difficulties with their family. What about this spell work? What about this spell work? They left with burnings. Okay? With a backfire. They blocked themselves. This wanted to come out, but it came out in reverse. And betrayal, whatever they threw for your family, like conflict, tension in the feet, that shit went back in reverse. They had a death and a rebirth with their own spell work. With their own spell work. Okay? This code especially, they're going through trials and tribulations. If not yet, they're about to. With this spell work, they're about to be blocked. They wanted you blocked, but that betrayal is in reverse and it's hitting right back on the family. Oh, jeez. Coats. This a coat. They wanted you brokenhearted, but in reverse, they are brokenhearted. That backfired. Gang stalking. Gang stalking. What about this gang stalking? They wanted you left out in the cold. They left out in the cold, gang stalking. They're not able to gang stalk anymore. Something is happening. Okay. I love when my cars are new. But they can't sleep at night. The thought of, you winning, they can't sleep at night. You are being protected by your spirit guides. Okay. They had to escape. They had to escape. Okay. They learning something. They see that you put in a lot of work. Okay. They're not willing to do the work that you did. They just gonna take little bits and pieces and mock and scoff it. That's all they do. See what I'm saying? Let's clarify this attachment. They're attached to your emperor status. Okay, you being a great creator, just giving birth to all kinds of types of stuff. Archangel balance. There was some divine intervention. Okay, the angels are, like I said, surrounding you. Okay, what about this seventh chakra? What about this seventh chakra? They wanted you, your crown. Okay, that's it. But this is where you at. You being celebrated, and your crown is brighter than ever. Okay, while they in this rebellious energy, trying to get in your gate at your garden. Okay, what about the fifth chakra? Okay, what about it? Your throat, speak money, investments. Okay, speaking life into existence. That's what it's giving with these new investments. What about this musician? Mother of it all type of energy. Asking you shall receive. You know what I'm saying? A whole musician. Get it, you get it in. We get it in collective. What about this King of Pentacles over here? A contract. Wow. this Queen of Pentacles is a contract for this Taurus. That's why they all like the thinking man, right? They're a whole fool. You know what I'm saying? You persevere. You persevere. Okay. Every time they threw shit at you in this efficient routine with conflict, always contemplating, opinionating, trying to do magic, they ran right into a tower. Listen, let me show you. Okay. Okay. Damn. Two cards wanted to fall out. They trying to escape. They on some lust energy. They trying to do it big. They traveling. Something came in fast. What came in fast? Realization that you vibing too high. And they can't do nothing to you. There's so much justice taking place. Okay? Things balance out. They try to juggle you, play head games with you, cast spells on you, try to make you think you was crazy. Oh no. But your ancestors moving you out the way. Okay? Why they get ready to reap what they sow. Oh shit. They discovering something. Maybe they won't be able to. That came out in reverse. Something's gonna happen, it's just gonna happen. Nobody knows. Only God in that second and in that moment. They're gonna have to lay it down. They're already laying it down, child. They done messed around and found out that you was that power, you know, you an angel. They not sitting pretty. Okay. You and your new inspiration, okay, being rewarded publicly, okay, becoming that star that you are with your new creation. Always, always and forever. They ain't lost in regret. Why, spirit? Why they look? Why? Because they try to control. They try to wear your star, your crown. They kept trying to play with your head and trying to do stuff to avoid your voice. Kept attacking your fifth chakra and your seventh chakra. Okay, with this page of wands, messages coming in. Okay? Like the video, share the video. Divine intervention, though. You know, I don't know why they keep doing that. It's always divine intervention with that Knight of Cups. Charm energy.
Mom, we've got a bottle for that.
Contemplate.
And we booked the trip. We've got a bottle for that. Now that we've been leaving, finished finance, earn that college degree.
Emperor. About this emperor is contemplating on what? Okay.
And trying out in good spirit.
Okay.
Even and every reason.
Your lover.
Bottle for that. Even your compliment.
They left fighting. Okay. That's yeah. They both gang stalkers. They both gonna be gone. I don't know why I said that, but that's just coming in. Yeah, the Hannah guy ain't even on them. Like, that's crazy. They just be doing stuff. They watching you be celebrated in harmony. You got some celebrations coming in. Yeah, you better be stable, okay? Mentally and all. All they want to do is block. Try to figure out how they gonna block and play with the King of Swords. You're a cheerful giver. You're always on point. Always, always, always. They in that devil energy, trying to see how they can watch you, try to override you, try to do you better than you. I always say that. Okay? I always say that. Sending you conflict on purpose and spiritual warfare. They want you to be in that fighting energy. But what happens is when it backfires, that's what they start doing. Okay? That's what they start doing. It's not a game. Okay? You're a high priestess on top of all that. Okay? On top of all that. And they be trying to, yeah, you be hitting, yeah, you being celebrated and recognized for being that musician. Finally. You know, high priestess you are. They thinking quick too, because they see, they know what time it is. Yeah. Karma. Karma's definitely here. You're a wounded warrior. This cycle closing their face. They don't know how to let up. You done moved on. You bobbing high, irritable. Okay. Something about a King of Cups. They're about to be illuminated. But yeah, trying to sacrifice you too. You were too strong. And they had a tower with this collaboration. You in hermit mode. Very hard for them to watch you. They in preparation of something. They watching something there. Your money. They watching your money, yo. They preparing, you know, to have nothing in you to have everything. You see what I'm saying? That what a way to end it. They try to, you know, play with your energy, you know, and to be like that. I experienced that too with crazy people, but I don't care because can't nobody view you through nobody else anyway. But they tried. They tried and they wanted to make it seem like you're copying them or they so smart before you get recognized as being your own energy, right? A copycat can only play but for so long, you know. But when you go MIA, they don't have nothing. They ain't got no other choice but to be themselves. And that's when you see they try to control the narratives. They try to control how people view you by even speaking bad on your name, you know. But when people are crappy, right, and they trying to do all that, People ain't looking at the people they talking about. People are definitely looking at them. You know, they can't do nothing. They try to view how people view you, and they call themselves being real while being messy, messy and never calculated. You know, they so predictable. They predictable. Especially when they try to do something that you do and try to make it seem like they created it. That's how they try to make others view. You know what I'm saying? Or they'll listen to your videos and say exactly what you say. So yes, this is definitely from online and personal matters. Like when people playing your energy, you know what I'm saying? You can, if that energy come out, it come out. You see what I'm saying? So I'm about to go cook some hamburgers. That's what I'm about to do. And just warn y'all of this amazing, fabulous reading. Okay, beware of those who try to mock and scoff you and try to like they try to speak bad on your name, try to make people think otherwise. You know, um, they study you so good, they want to be you so bad that they just can't help it. You know, so they basically trying to act like people are supposed to look at you however they, whatever they say about you, they expect people to believe that. You know, and meanwhile, the war. You know what I'm saying? The war for the real ones versus the fake ones. You know? Yeah, trying to be other people energy. But we are in that season where people know who's who. People are learning who's who, you know? So it is what it is. But make sure you protect your energy. If you're gonna be anything on here, protect your energy. And I hope that you have good discernment, like myself. This reading was well overdue. Um, yeah, people just want to shadow ban you. People just want to try to outdo. They think that they're doing you, and they outdo themselves, right? People, right? People pleasers. You know, they just want to say whatever they want to say about you, and people are supposed to view you. So they go, to, you know, make sure that you don't shine. They try to do everything you do. They try to be you. It may sound far fetched, but when you in that experience moment, it's like I know this ain't really happening, you know, but it's happening. You know, you gotta protect yourself. You gotta protect yourself, and because they don't care about your page, they don't care about you. They just want to be better than you. They would do anything. Here's the thing about that: the behavior becomes obsessed. They are narcissists. They start projecting. They try to wear your light, right, on their channels. And you're just minding your business. But this is what they do, you know, because they try to attract what they think, you know, they can get with your light, you know, and they try to talk like you, wear your energy. They they walk-ins are easily to walk into these people because they are not rooted and grounded. They everywhere. They everywhere, and they just want to be. They want to be recognized, you know, but they're not in the right, you know, state of mind. You know what I'm saying? So they would do anything to, in hidden plain view sight. Nobody has to know nothing. They can do whatever they want to do to you, however they want to feel about you. And then when you fight back, they make you look crazy because you have true discernment. So they come and they mess with you. You know, they try to do everything you do so people could look at, you know, them. People could look at them and not you, you know, while they wear your great energy. Try to anyway. Try to anyway. So it is what it is. I wanted to say that. I needed to come on here and share this live and share this reading because don't ever feel like if you're going through that, don't ever feel like they're winning because they're not winning. In the end, they always look crazy and desperate, and they expose themselves, and they think people are stupid. And I never underestimate people. Okay, you never know what's going through somebody's mind, and it is what it is. Let's be clear. So I wanted to make sure that we got this out there. Like the video, share the video, and peace.